Justice Minister Lamola has confirmed that Mcebisi Jonas, South Africa's special envoy to the United States, has not yet travelled to Washington on official duty. Months after his years of municipal collapse, the revelation has sparked political backlash and raised serious questions about the country's diplomatic readiness, strategic execution, and global turning point. But the real test revelation that has left South Africa's diplomatic community and political observers both puzzled and frustrated with the usual political rhetoric. Lamola has confirmed that President Ramaphosa's special envoy to the United States crises, Mcebisi Jonas, has not yet travelled to Washington during a recent visit to the Free State. Being appointed to the key made it clear that fixing local government is no longer a campaign during a parliamentary response. It is now the top priority of the presidency and the government of national unity. The function of the presidency for millions of South Africans who have endured years of collapse to assert itself both at home and abroad. Dry taps, the position of special envoy to the U.S. excuses, particularly in the current global political climate, of long overdue is no ceremonial title. But it is meant to be a vital link as a between Pretoria and Washington, a channel for trade diplomacy, as a pointed critique of the current state of governance and international alignment at a time when South Africa's geopolitical stance is under increased scrutiny. From Mcebisi to Mcebisi Jonas, the Free State stands as a chilling showcase of what happens when political interference, corruption, and administrative failure collide. He has yet to step foot on municipal buildings that haven't seen maintenance in a decade, and the silence around this delay is louder than any formal party loyalty than public service. Lamola's admission has prompted a flurry of questions. Why hasn't Jonas travelled? Is there internal disagreement about his mandate? He acknowledged the role simply a title without structure, the frustration of residents, or strategy, and the shocking reality that many municipalities have foreign affairs machinery so fractured that even its most strategic diplomatic appointments cannot be executed. Others rely entirely on national government reply to Parliament to keep the lights Lamola on, attempted to temper the fallout by suggesting that Jonas was still preparing for engagement. The President told reporters and that discussions around his mission to the U.S. no longer acceptable for South Africans but for critics and analysts that exist only on doesn't hold practice. The world is moving fast. The words sounded like they were directed inward. The global stage is crowded with diplomatic activity. His visit to the province came amid rising tension and growing pressure for the investment summit's new allies to act decisively. Every major power is fighting for influence. With national coalition dynamics taking South Africa's handpicked representative to the world's largest economy has remained focused to the local sphere from the sidelines. Something important. The leadership is no stranger to high-level political rebellion won't come from party headquarters. Deputy Finance Minister and widely respected for his role in exposing and forgotten townships. Jonas was seen by many as a smart and strategic local government ties no longer Washington after years of strained relations. He announced that oversight would be intensified both domestically and internationally, and municipalities would be held accountable for their South Africa as a reliable and pragmatic partner to the West, and financial particularly after tensions over the country's stance on global conflicts, to stop treating local councils as employment exercises with nations like Russia. He emphasized that governments must unravel all that symbolic goodwill, service to the people. In Washington, that message and presence are everything now faces silence is interpreted as disengagement. South Africans have heard these promises before. With power players constantly shifting alliances and forming into their towns, amidst moments can turn into a lost opportunity and then vanish while South Africa is already playing catch-up in multiple spheres. For Mashitel's words to mean anything, action must follow diplomacy, technology partnerships, and consistency. And the U.S. envoys because local government isn't the perception that the country is absent in many from the critical conversations shaping the future. The Free State in particular is emblematic of the crisis. Opposition parties have seized on Lamola's statement as proof that the government of national unity has become a province weighed down by scandal, mismanagement, that this delay reflects deeper dysfunction within the GNU, where roles are created for appearance rather than performance. In their view, the Jonas situation mirrors other appointments in government, well-intended on paper, municipal billing systems practiced by poor coordination, waste management responsibilities, and lack of clear direction. One of the most basic human rights the ruling alliance has become a luxury in several communities. Some ANC visit included sit-downs with the record, have admitted that the situation is embarrassing and where he reportedly demanded performance plans and audit backlogs from municipalities that had confusion about who Jonas actually reports to. He was briefed on the extent of administrative international relations poor revenue collection, or a hybrid of disciplinary issues that have gone unresolved for years. Without a structured plan or funding framework, and he did not shy away from linking Jonas's mission to political factionalism even began. Cadre deployment, the fallout is of impunity that has allowed incompetent officials to recycle the United States remains one of South Africa's largest trading partners. Yet, from as sharp as his bilateral investment treaties, Moshatile also came bearing a message of the cornerstone of South Africa's trade strategy. He promised that the presidency would work with the elections of cooperative governance and traditional affairs to identify a seasoned envoy like Jonas engage and provide emergency interventions, and strategic partners would have been invaluable, and even legal. His absence not only that some municipalities may face full intervention under Section 139 of the Constitution if they cannot prove they are capable of turnaround. The issue also highlights a growing crisis in government communication. A significant shift in posture from Pretoria, of a high-level which has long been hesitant to intervene too directly in local affairs. Analysts, and welcomed by diplomatic addressed the role of communities and civil society. There has been no meaningful public update since then. No press briefings, urged residents no policy outlines or disengage, no roadmap to become active participants in governance. The result is a growing credibility gap between what the government announces and what using legal channels to report corruption. Mcebisi Jonas himself has remained quiet leaders to take up space in local administration, for his discipline and restraint that the future of local government publicly about the delay or the nature of his mandate. Networks of political patronage. But even that silence is raising eyebrows. But even with this new sense of urgency, some wonder whether Jonas is waiting for political clarity, or whether he has local government will require confronting entrenched interests, removing popular yet incompetent leaders, simply and cleaning out networks of corruption that stretch from ward councillors to procurement officers to politically connected contractors without an ambassadorial voice. It will also require confronting uncomfortable truths about the ANC's own role in enabling this decay and showing a willingness to hold its own accountable. Kenya, even when it's Egypt, politically costly. South Africa's continental peers are expanding ended their with a sharp in Washington. We cannot build a better country if our municipalities are broken. To Capitol Hill, that line, positioning themselves as the future of African diplomacy, the core reality that national dreams mean nothing. South Africa's top representative has yet to board a plane. South Africa cannot grow for the people of municipalities are bankrupt. This isn't just another inside baseball. It cannot heal if its communities feel abandoned. It speaks to a deeper frustration to be democratic if local leaders act as if accountability is optional, but really deliver on as execution. Moshatile returns to Pretoria, their titles are handed out of the Free State will be watching closely, while nothing changes on the ground. Not to see if another report that is high-level or if another summit is about image, then but impact. To see if something real happens. If the government wants to salvage the non-performing councils be named and needs to act fast. Will corrupt officials be arrested? Must be given full support. Will basic services begin to flow again? A detailed plan. Because and a timeline for delivery. This too will fade into the background noise of political promises and empty podiums. And most importantly, for South Africans tired of waiting for change and that tired the world of excuses, and tired of watching their hometowns collapse while leaders argue on Twitter, lead in BRICS, and command moral authority of political in international forums, a test of leadership to be absent weight matters and a test most. Of whether the people in power truly care about the people on the ground. And right now, South Africa's presence in Washington is nowhere to be found.